framework box in here, and we're going to put an outlet down here. And we have this opens with our holes. So we're going to put it about right here. We measured it. I bent this over at the height of the other outlet, so I'll set this here. Set the top of our box here. Like that. Trace right over in here. And there we go. Now I'll make our lines across the bottom here. Go across the top. Down here. So I'll drill a hole in the corner there. That's open here. So we're going to go over to the switch. So we will go in the middle of our stud here. I'll cut this out first. Let's see if our box is going to fit in here. Okay, so I have to trim a little across the bottom here. Yeah, that's going to fit there. So we're going to pop our little opening here for the wire to go in. can see how the so see how these teeth in here, they're not teeth, how the plastic locks the wire into the box. So we'll stick it in the wall like this. Now we'll just tighten our screws up here. And it's closing those wings up against the wood in the back here, so it's holding the box in place. There you go. See how it draws it back to the wall nice and snug there? Okay, so now we can drill our hole to get our wire over to the switch. You got to drill in the middle of your stud so you don't let the wire get hit with the nail. See how much wire I need? Come up, hold it over here, so I'll cut it about here. I don't like how that hole went at an angle there because it's going to be too close to the other side. So I'll drill down so it stays in the middle. Alrighty, so we have our jacket in the box here. We'll take our knife. I'll just rip the end like this. I do it down at the end, only at the end, so I don't, I cut the insulation on the inner conductors here. That's where it's going to be stripped off, and it's not going to make a difference. Well, I might have to score it the rest of the way up so it comes out easier, but I'm not going in all the way. Okay, score it down the middle here. Well, I guess I can't, so just do the best you can. There we go. Okay, so we get all our debris out. Alright, so we will close our screws we're not going to be using here. So here in the country I was born in, our outlets are polarized. We use a 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live. Goes to the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. The white wire goes to the silver screw, which is the wider slot. And the bare or green wire goes to this green screw. So strip about an inch. Okay, now you always put your wire around the screw the direction your screw turns. Okay, make sure the copper goes under the screw head all the way around. Make sure it's nice and tight. And that's how I like it to look, just like that. And we'll go the ground wire around our green screw. Okay, we'll make sure it's nice and tight like that. Okay, now we'll bring it around. We'll get our black wire over here on our brass screw. Make sure it's nice and tight. We have a nice connection like this. So now we're ready to push our wires into the box. We're going to push our ground wire down to the bottom. We'll go over this way. We'll go down. We'll come back up with our black and our white like this. And we'll go over. And we'll go back this way. And we'll keep our ground wire down at the bottom. Let's push it into our box. Now this is a newer kind of box. You just push your screws in like that. Now make sure our ground wire stayed down, which it did. Just turn it like that to tighten it. There we go. So that is how we hook our outlet up. Okay, so our switch is right here. Oh, they left the wires really short in here. Let's see what kind of a connection we have here. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera up close and show you how poorly this is wired. Okay, you can see the insulation under the screw and the copper sticking out around the head on the top, or on the bottom terminal. And on the top screw, it looks okay. And there's our ground wire just twisted and no wire nut. Okay, you can watch me poke the wire from the other side. Okay, so let's take this mess all apart. Now let's see how they did on the white layers. Yeah, let's see what they look like. That is not too bad, but just put it into the light. That's nice. Get all our debris off. Okay. That'll clean it up. Okay, there we got all our wires cleaned out. We'll get our tail wire onto this here. Okay, so get all our ground wires together here. First two started. I'll slide one in here. That round tail on here. And that goes in nice and evenly here. I'll cut them so they're all even on the very end here. if it's going to move down. Okay, so we got all our grounds together. And we'll get all our white wires together here. These are all neutrals. Okay, so we'll get our insulation in at the bottom here. Get our first two started here. Bring our third one over, get our insulation even at the bottom there. Twist them in. Make sure it's nice and even here. Now I'll cut the ends so that the wire nut grabs all three evenly at the top inside the spring. Tight. Now this is the black one from the power, and this is the black one going to our outlet. So we're going to make our tail here to go to our switch. Tail wire here. Get our insulation even at the bottom here. Okay, we'll get it lined up here. Get the insulation even at the bottom. Put these there all even on the end here. And look for one more right. One more, that's way down at the bottom. I like the red ideal wire nuts the best, with the little ribs here in the top and the wings. They grab better, they're more durable than the smooth red ones. Okay, so this is all our neutral wires. This is our black line coming in, line going out to our outlet, and line to our switch. And this is the black wire going to our light. And the ground is all together. So now we can push these wires into our box here. Push it back in. It's a nice deep box here. I'm going to strip this one just a bit longer so we don't get our insulation caught under our screw head here. It looks like somebody stripped with a pocket knife. So I take off just about an inch. Okay, so first we'll put our ground wire around our green screw here. That's nice and tight. We got a nice connection like this here. Okay, around with our wires around the screws on the switch. Always put your wire around the screw the direction your screw turns, because otherwise when you tighten your screw it will open up your loop. I'm kind of pushing back on the wire here with this finger so that the copper goes under the screw head all the way around. There we go, that's what we want right there. Okay, now we'll get our other, we're going to fold this ground wire and stay up on this side of the switch. If it was a three-way switch, we'd zigzag it across the bottom. You just want to keep it away from your terminals. Okay, we'll make our loop the direction of screw turns. I'm pulling forward on the switch a little bit so that the copper is under the screw head all the way around. And that's how we want it, like that. Okay. Let's just see if we have enough. Okay. I can fold the ground wire going across the bottom too. And it stays down at the bottom as it stays away from the terminals. I'm going to make a little shim here because this box is set back in the wall a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just take a piece of copper like this, make like a little washer out of it. Close the loop all the way so it's like a washer. I'll just cut it off here. And I'll do the same on the top because the box is back just a little bit. And I want this switch to fit nice and flush on the wall. I just make sure it closes all the way around so I don't. I'll just cut it off here. And I'll just screw it down snug to the box. Straight here. Okay, it's all nice and snug here. Alrighty, so that is how to wire a new outlet off of a light switch when you have power coming to the switch and going out of the switch down to the new outlet and out of the switch to power to the lights. Peace. Thanks for watching.